In 1895, Italy launched a full military campaign against Ethiopia, convinced that modern weapons and European discipline would bring a quick victory. Italian columns advanced inland from Eritrea, moving through Ethiopian territory in organized formations, supported by rifles, artillery, and trained officers. What they encountered was not an untrained force. Ethiopian fighters, many drawn from the highland regions, were experienced marksmen. Long before the war, they had hunted in mountainous terrain and trained with firearms obtained through trade and previous conflicts. They knew distance, they knew elevation, and they knew patience. As Italian soldiers moved during daylight, shots began to come from high ground, overlooking the routes of advance. Soldiers fell without warning. Italian officers reported that the fire was accurate, deliberate, and difficult to locate. The Ethiopian fighters did not fire in volleys. They fired selectively, often striking officers, scouts, and men at the front of the column. Return fire achieved little. The marksmen fired from above, then repositioned, using terrain they knew intimately. Italian rifles could not easily reach them, and artillery was often ineffective against unseen targets scattered across rocky slopes. As casualties increased, Italian units began to change behavior. Columns halted more frequently. Scouting became cautious. Daytime movement slowed. Italian military reports from the campaign noted that advancing under full daylight exposed troops to constant rifle fire.
This is the critical point we must secure. Unsecure these routes immediately, or our positions will be compromised.
Losses mounted without clear engagements. To reduce casualties, movement increasingly shifted to night hours, when visibility was poor and Ethiopian marksmen lost their advantage. Only after nightfall did the movement resume. Under darkness, visibility collapsed. Shots still came from the hills, but they were fewer and less accurate. The column moved slowly, carefully, covering ground that daylight had made impossible. When morning came, the advance stopped again. This was not a retreat. It was an adjustment forced by enemy control of the terrain. Ethiopian fighters had achieved something rare. Without formal uniforms, without centralized command, and without artillery, they dictated how a modern European army could move. The war would culminate in 1896 at the Battle of Adwa, where Ethiopian forces decisively defeated the Italian army. The first time a European colonial power was beaten in open battle by an African state. But long before Adwa, Italian troops had already learned a lesson in the highlands. Daylight belonged to the Ethiopian marksmen, and survival often meant waiting for darkness.